Hey y'all.
Sorry, I had to get a calculator.
Today's objective,
Make sure you copy this down.
volume of prisms and cylinders. So we're starting in our 3D unit. Volume is the amount of cubic units. Cubic units. That's going to be a key word, cubic. Whenever you see cubic, you know we're talking about volume. That fill the space inside a solid. So here's your formula for volume. It's the base area times the height. When I say base area, I'm talking about whatever shape you're dealing with, that base. So that's why we practiced area. If your base area, if you're dealing with a rectangular prism, then you're going to have a rectangle. If you have a triangular prism, your base is going to be a triangle. And if you have a cylinder, your base is going to be a circle. So here are our three formulas. Length times width times height. 1/2 base height times height. And pi r squared times height. Notice the red H is this height. The green is the base area. So we're going to practice 2 examples from each shape today, and we're going to have a calculator. Alright, so first up are cylinders. Here's an example. We have a cylinder, and I started with my formula, pi r squared, we're used to that from area, times the height. So anytime you have volume, you're going to start with that base area, and you're going to multiply it by how tall it is. So the base area is pi r squared. So pi, 3.14, times r squared times the height. It goes up 7 kilometers. When I type that in my calculator, 3.14 times 5 squared times 7, I get 549.5 kilometers cubed because it's cubic units. So it's going to be cubed. Example 2, we have a cylinder that's turned on its side. First thing we notice is this is a diameter. We don't need the diameter, we need the radius. So if the diameter is 16, the radius is going to be 8 because you're going to divide it by 2. 16 divided by 2. This is our height because that's how tall our cylinder is. Even though it's laying on the ground, it's still, if you stood it up, it'd be 30 inches tall. I put it into my formula, pi r squared times h, and then I type it in, 3.14 times 8 squared times 30, and I get 6,028.8 inches cubed. Okay? Alright, next up are triangular prisms. This is example 3 and example 4. Triangular prisms. I have my formula, 1/2 BH times H. Now this second H is how tall the prism is if it's sitting on its base. So this prism, if you could picture it sitting on the triangle, how tall would it be? So the first 1/2 BH, we're going to bring down our 1/2. The base of the triangle and the height of the triangle. These two things come from the triangle. And we know they make the right angle. So the 6 and the 8 are the base and the height of the triangle because of that right angle. The height of the prism is 4. 10 is on the triangle. That doesn't tell us how tall the prism goes up. So the prism height is 4. We're going to type that in. 1/2 times 6 times 8 times 4. And we're going to get 96 units cubed. I didn't give you any kind of units, so that's why we're just saying units cubed. On this triangular prism, I have lots of numbers. So first let's start with the formula, 1/2 BH times H. This first BH comes from the triangle. The base of the triangle is 9. The height of the triangle is 6. Remember, you have to use the right angle. Now I need the height of the prism. If we took this prism and we turned it on a triangle, how tall would it be? And it would be 10 tall. I type that into my calculator. And it is 270 units cubed. So if you don't have centimeters or inches or miles or anything, then just put units. So the last ones are the rectangular prisms. The volume is length times width, that is base area, times the height of the prism. So right here, my length and width of the rectangle, I'm going to shade it in so you can see. The base is this right here. So 4 times 5 times 9, when we type that in, we're going to get 180 units cubed. 180 units cubed. Example 7, a cube with sides that are 11 centimeters long. Now, the thing about cubes is all of the sides are the same. So it's 11, 11, and 11. So we know that it's going to be 11 times 11 times 11. Can I help y'all? And it is 1,331 units cubed. All right. So that was quick, and I gave you 2 examples of each, but we will practice more volume of prisms and cylinders tomorrow.